Good morning. Today on Business Success in Six with Stacie, I have Cesar Durantes here from Club 400 in Waukesha. Cesar, thanks for jumping on with me today.
Thank you for having me on, Stacie.
It is my pleasure. So today we're going to learn a little bit about your business. If you don't mind, I'd like to ask you six questions. Is that okay?
Yep.
Awesome. Okay. When people ask you what Club 400 does, how do you describe your business?
Well, I would consider Club 400, a typical Wisconsin corner pub and grill where the community comes to meet old friends. We're the closest bar to a pub to a Carroll University. And so over the year that we've owned the bar, you see people that used to come here in their 20s, and we have a yearbook going back that far, and they love thumbing through the pictures, identifying old friends. It's really a walk down memory lane. There are so many people that have come back saying they met their wife here, they met their husband here, their first date was here. So it's Waukesha's oldest bar. We're 74 years young, and, and our 75-year anniversary is coming up, and so that is just how well the bar has been supported by the community, you know almost for a century. We've got a great connection to Les Paul's family used to own the bar. If you're familiar with who Les Paul was, he invented the solid body electric guitar. And the way that I've been describing the bar recently has just been, consider Club 400 the original Hard Rock Cafe, because there's so much memorabilia here,
Wow.
connected to Les Paul, connected to the area, and it's, you can't buy that kind of history and vibe, and so it's hard to duplicate. And it's just a great place for gathering with friends, celebrating a birthday, celebrating some professional accomplishment. It's just a great establishment.
It sounds really, really unique. I love the way you talk about not only people can make connections or reconnections there, but it sounds like they can also learn a lot about history and music right here in our neck of the woods in Wisconsin.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I think Waukesha is really growing. There's new apartments that are coming up, and so
Yeah.
I'm really excited for the future of Waukesha, and for I'm pretty optimistic in general about how we're going to grow the business here over the next 5 to 10 years.
Very exciting. So I know you've owned it just about a year now. What were your plans when you started Club 400 and taking over it, and how have they changed in the past year?
Well, I think when we were bartending here for about 4 or 5 months before we bought the bar, and so our plans in a lot of ways was to use the base, or the grow upon the foundation of the business. So this bar has got its regular clientele, and we had to make sure that, despite some changes that we wanted to make, that we can't alienate
Mhm.
that base clientele. Yeah, I mean, people don't like change in general, and so when we bought the bar, there were a lot of nervous customers, even though they'd known us several months. Are we going to change the name of the bar? Are we going to redecorate or remodel or anything like that? And so, we had no plans to do any of those. And so, our plan was to grow the base clientele through relationship building and getting to know everybody. And I think we're on the path to doing so.
Well, congratulations on that. So when we talk about community, I know you've talked about it a little bit. What is the biggest way that you impact the community?
Well, one of the ways that we've tried to impact the community is through fundraisers. So after the Waukesha parade incident or tragedy,
Mhm.
we hosted a couple of fundraisers here. We actually have a fundraiser on Monday called Tips for Tots, where come drink, come have food. We'll have some raffle prizes, but the majority of the tips given to the bartenders will be going to a kids charity. And so
Wow.
this will be our second year doing it, and it's a pretty fun event. and who doesn't like to have a drink, you know? Um, so
Absolutely.
we've done a couple things like that. We did a big Mardi Gras based charity event in March that was supporting WILC, which is a school for, um, uh, teenagers, kids with autism. And so
Wow.
that was a pretty fun event. We had a jazz band, we raffled off prizes, so that's some of the ways that we give back to the community.
Those are beautiful ways. So thank you for doing that. So, what is one challenge that you have faced that other business owners could learn from?
I would say, I went to business school to buy a business and get into business for ourselves. And I would tell you that the biggest surprise came when it came to, um, the city's fire ordinances and having the building up to code. That really caught us by surprise because despite having bought a business that had been continuously running
Mhm.
for 74 years
Mhm.
and had occupancy, when it came down to transferring that occupancy, that was when we were told that the building was not up to code. And so that really had a lot of challenge for us. And we had to lose 50% of our capacity in order to stay open
Wow.
while we met the city's requirements to um, meet fire code safety. So we've had to install 4 fire rated doors, a fire alarm system. We're due to put a sprinkler system in. And those are all the things that I just thought it's what caught us by surprise. And
Yeah.
so we're surviving, but we're surviving at 50% seating capacity, for it's going to be almost a year
Mhm.
by the time we get our full capacity restored.
That is a huge challenge. And definitely thank you for sharing that and being open and honest about that. I think, as we always assume as businesses are bought or transferred that all the same rules and regulations apply. And that's not the case. But thank you for doing, putting those doors in and those sprinklers and being socially responsible and still keeping that place open for our community and our patrons. And with that, doing community events, even though you do have 50% of that capacity gone.
Right. Yeah.
That's quite incredible. Thank you. So what do you think the future looks like for you? And do you have an exit plan?
So I think the future for us is pretty exciting. So I'm always a glass half full, silver lining kind of guy. So even though we lost occupancy of our second floor bar, necessity is the mother of all invention. And so it's forced us to go to the outside parking lot to
Okay.
host events. And so that was pretty successful considering it was last minute scrounged together to get a tent outside and figure out ways that we could serve people cocktails outside while at the same time have open air for music
Mhm.
venues. And so the weather cooperated for the most part. And so now it's given us an idea. So how we plan to maybe run the summer and not
Cool.
lean so much on the upstairs venue or space. Maybe we could use all 3 spaces once we have it all fully restored. And so you'll have music outside in the parking lot. You'll have an upstairs bar. You'll have the main bar on the first floor. And so I don't know. I'm pretty excited. There is a music venue that's opening across the street sometime within the next year. And so that'll bring a lot of foot traffic to the area. And so it'll be pretty exciting going forward. As far as an exit plan, I don't see an exit plan. It's not something that we've really been talking about. I mean, this is a great business and a great part of Waukesha, and we plan to support it and maintain it, until we're, maybe unable to do so. And at that point, maybe our children might want to take it on. So,
There you go. And definitely you definitely are glass half respectful kind of person, because some people might see another business coming into the area as a threat, whereas you see it as an opportunity to get more people aware of your establishment. And also with the outdoors, I know me, for one, living in Wisconsin, I look for those places that are outdoors in the summertime or when it's warmer out to go. Like,
Mhm.
we want to be outside. So
Yeah,
definitely glass half full there. Congratulations. The last
thanks.
question I have for you is all subject open. What inspires you most?
Um, well, what inspires me most is running a business, as anyone that owns their own business, is extremely challenging and nerve wracking, right? And making payroll every week, and so what inspires me is trying to figure it out. It's like a puzzle when obviously it would be great to just buy a business and boom, you're killing it right out of the gate. Um, but what inspires me is to try and figure out how to grow the business creatively. I mean, so we don't have a tremendous amount of background in this industry. And so I see that as an advantage, in my opinion, because, you don't have to think outside of the box if you've never been in it, you
Sure,
know.
that's great.
And so we have some fun promotions that you just don't see at other bars. So we have, as an example, our beer promotion. And so we call that's to promote a little bit of safety. But if you ride share to our business, we pay for half your ride, you know.
Cool.
So we're rolling the dice a little bit that you're going to have a car full of people and you'll come here and, hopefully there's a kind of a pinky swear that if we pay for half your ride, you're going to stay here and have some fun.
Totally.
So that's something that we're promoting that you don't really see at other businesses, right? So we call it our beer promotion, and so just little things like that I think, having not been in the business, kind of lends itself to a little bit more creativity that maybe you don't see in other establishments.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. That's actually a really neat, unique promotion. And it's actually really socially responsible as well. So once again, thank you for that.
We do that for a couple of reasons, right? I mean, safety being one, being responsible. The other one is that, while we do have our own parking lot, there's only a parking lot for like 20 cars. And so,
Okay.
consider it like valet parking, if you will. And so you show up, you don't have to worry about parking a car. You walk in,
Cool.
and so it seems to be like a pretty good idea, and we're doing our best to promote it a little bit, and so little things like that I think would be a great addition to our business.
Absolutely. Now, if somebody wants to go to Club 400, what is the best way for them to get information on it?
So you can go to our website, just Google Club 400 Waukesha, and it'll be right there. Clubwaukesha.com, I believe, is our website. That would be a great place to figure out what's going on. When are we open? Uh, we also have our Instagram account, so feel free to check us out on Instagram, any social media, Facebook. Um, and we have stuff kind of going on all the time. And so if you have any questions, feel free to message us on Facebook, and we'll reply right away.
Awesome. Thank you so much for your time today, Caesar. Good luck with business. I'm sure it's going to be booming and great. You've got incredible ideas and great responsibility and just a great space. So good luck this holiday season.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good day.
You too.